Hello, everyone, and welcome back to No Cap Space. What a day, and honestly, a great game to cap us off in the Big Ten between two teams to me that have been highly ranked, have been ranked pretty well over the course of the season, and just haven't fully entered into the national conversation in the way I would deem it. But today was Iowa picking up a big win on a day packed full of big games. I was there in the city of Norman for LSU, Oklahoma. Greer, you had boots on the ground in LA today for Maryland, UCLA. Look, we are here we're going to certainly dive in deep with the Iowa-Michigan State game, but we're certainly going to touch on pretty much everything that went on across the nation because, again, a whole lot. Look, it's a good day. It's a good move. Greer just got a playoff win. Like it's everything
in the chat.
Everything's great. Everything's great.
That'll be coming for you.
Yeah. Hey, still defending champs, baby. Until someone wins. But before we get into it, as always, code NOCAT15. You can find that down below in the description for our friends at home field. Of course, like and subscribe on both here on the YouTube and on NoCatSpaceWBB.com. We just dropped the January cover story with an exclusive interview with Aaliyah Chavez that just came out today. We spent a couple months on that. Didn't provide the boost maybe that some had hoped for today. But I'm happy with that story, so make sure you go check that out. And of course, Super Chat gets your message on the screen. Greer, let's talk about the Iowa Hawkeyes. Look, I'm leaving this game. It got messy towards the end. But I'm impressed. This was some of the most, I think I was impressed with the intentionality of the two bigs in this game, where Hannah Stolke, 10 of 14, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, only 2 turnovers. And Ava Hayden with 20 points, 8 of 13, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Like, you're just getting efficient scoring from two players that have really learned to work well together. What did you see from specifically the big duo with Iowa tonight?
What I saw is that they're also capable of being defending at a high level, right? Michigan State, one of the best defenses in the country, and Iowa held them to 68 points today. And a lot of that was due to the play and versatility of a player like Ava Hayden, who obviously did their thing offensively, but to me, they took big strides on the defensive end today as a duo.
Yeah, no, to me, first off, yes, on the defensive end, I thought Ava Hayden had a couple of pretty big blocks or shot contests over the course of this game. I put in our Discord chat, which if you become a member here or on the website, you can come join. We were in there chatting. I put in there, if Hannah Stolke and Ava Hayden could hit free throw line extended jumpers, they'd be the greatest duo of all time. Because the high-low passing game that they've developed on the offensive side of the ball, to me, is they just haven't figured out. And look, one thing we know about women's basketball, and a lot of times basketball in general, frankly, entry passing is a lost art. And these are players where they started forcing it towards the end, and we'll get into the kind of the nitty-gritty towards of the end of this game. But I think generally speaking, over the course of this one, they have that down, at least between the two of them, where, I mean, again, Stolke has 5 assists. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'd imagine majority of those were within that high-low with Ava Hayden. So I just, again, I mean, I've talked about it before on here, and to me, this Iowa team goes as high as Hannah Stolke is going to take them, and taking over and feeling when Hannah Stolke is dominant and you can feel her impact on the game. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that, in this game, she's the leading scorer, she's a leading rebounder, right? And I mean, tied for leading, she's just all over the place, But it doesn't have to be leading in every category in the way that it was tonight. That's phenomenal. Never going to complain about that, But it's just there's a certain level of impact when I feel like Hannah Stolke is being intentional about what she's doing on the court, and I feel like we got that tonight. And seeing that, and Ava Hayden, she goes to war in the paint trying to find position. She will bang every play, and it is just impressive just to have the stamina. I think we saw the stamina kind of run out, frankly, towards the end of the game because of how much you got there. But again, when there's a level of intentionality with the big play in Iowa that is incredibly. I trust it to a certain degree when they get it rolling like this, especially when you got shooters on the outside that and they didn't shoot incredibly from three. I mean, 8 of 23. I've seen worse. Ask me when. But like I've seen worse, but like especially, I mean, I would say right now, if Addie Deal just comes in and just hits threes every time she steps on the court, if Addie Deal is here, and again, we only got 15 minutes over, only 8 points. And like Chit Chat, right? Another one. She had the half court three, being one of them, But like I thought she was really, really solid. Like there's if the guards are scoring where I think there's a fine line with Iowa where, and I put this in the Discord chat as well, but it's like there's a level of intentionality and then there's predictability. And I think towards the end of the game, when the fatigue kind of set in, I think it got a bit predictable when the guards weren't moving around as much. And that's when Michigan State, I think, really got like disruptive on the defensive end and were able to kind of claw back into this one. But where do you, I mean, this is the Iowa team, they're ranked number 11 right now. You go get a win like this and you're in the top 10. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how the rankings go. I'm pretty confident they'll enter.
I mean, they're still undefeated in Big Ten play. A couple of the teams who are above them lost over the weekend. A couple play tomorrow. So somebody is going to lose also between, let's say, like Michigan and Vandy, for instance. Yeah. So yeah, this is just a great conference win. Like even if the teams ahead of them do whatever they do tomorrow or the rest of the weekend. Like, this is just a great win if you're the Iowa Hawkeyes, and I think is definitely enough to propel you into the top 10.
Yeah, it's interesting for me too with Iowa because, again, like this isn't a team with national expectation. They have there's national recognition in terms of the motion with Iowa, and like the fan base and the eyes on Iowa, but in terms of actual expectations for what they're going to go do and not winning the conference, that's not an expectation of them. Not go like Final Four is not an expectation, anything like there's not.
Big Vance said ask about us actually ask about us
because look,
it's shaping up for a big LA trip here in a couple weeks. It's shaping up to be a big trip out west in 2 weeks.
And I think if they go, and then we'll certainly have eyes and boots and all that at that game. Yeah, 100. We'll be talking about that one, but that is we got to get there first. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but man, that'll be one where it's like if Iowa can go in, even if it's just like a competitive close game, like we might have to readjust where we are with Iowa.
For Hawkeye and Hayden to be playing well right now and gaining that confidence because you're going to go play, eventually a really, really talented team with elite bigs. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to, while you can, keep developing that chemistry, but also like that versatility, right? We saw Stokey knock down like the jumper today, right?
Yeah.
With two
that one with the shot clock going down.
Yes. Cold. And then get the turnover right on the inbounds play, like right after that, right? So they're meeting the moment, which is like all you can ask for, right?
100%.
The preparation is showing, the belief that Jensen and her coaching staff are putting in them is showing. Like the results are showing right now. This was a really, again, like offensively, did they both have 20 pieces? Yeah, okay. But like we also know that like Michigan State doesn't necessarily have like the horses to compete in the paint with them, right?
Sure.
To me, it was really about the defense today. Like that is where they really shine to me today. I don't know that I had seen them play with that much intention, to your point, on that end of the basketball until today.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm leaving impressed with this one. Before we switch over to Michigan State, shout out to Joe. $2 super chat. At a hockey game, still tuned in. That's what we're talking about. That's dedication. That's what we talk about. Again, super chat, get your message on the screen. If you're talking through, again, we're gonna get through this game, and then we got a lot to touch on over the course of the day. Let's talk about Michigan State, because this is, I don't leave here feeling bad about Michigan State or anything like that. I mean, this is a team that is 17-2, right? I mean, it slipped up once beforehand before this game. Grace Van Sluten is really good at basketball. Like she's really good, you know. And like there was just some moments where like I'm interested in what Michigan State, because like Van Sluten 7 of 17 points. Like I'm not gonna be mad about that, you know, at all. Like I think to me there's still, if I was like to point out something from this game where I felt that a little bit to be desired was the Jaylen Brown wasn't fully involved like early on. Like I think to a degree, like when it comes to scoring and everything, especially when you get down with Van Sluten in foul trouble at times, things like that. I would have liked to turn to Jaylen Brown, I think, a little bit more with kind of that intentionality aspect to me. Because to me, that's kind of what I feel like set this game apart is that Iowa, again, it got messy towards the end, but over the course of this game, they knew what they were trying to do and they continued to try and do it. Michigan State, I don't know if they kind of fully like found that thing that they were trying to do over and over and kind of try and break Iowa down in that way. And I would have liked to either try and find something like that or go to your bucket getters more consistently. And obviously this is a very high powered offense, and it's not just Grace Van Sluten that is going and scoring. To me, I mean, you had Woodard as well coming off the bench that also scored the ball well, but Jaylen Brown is someone that, since going to Michigan State, obviously hasn't been bad, but like we saw.
I think her race she's been all over the place.
Yeah, and
I thought like she would have been a starter for this team.
Yeah,
there's been many games where that wasn't the case. I thought like when they swung her in the portal, I thought that she was going to be, not that she isn't, but like just a more consistent contributor to what they're doing.
Yeah,
I think like we've talked about Michigan State earlier this year and how we think like it's not a place that not a team that you want to play come tournament time.
Sure, 100%.
Right? Because it wouldn't shock me if I think they're not going to be sneaking. They're ranked 15th. They're not going to be sneaking up on anyone. But defensively, like we know what they're about. They have a real identity offensively, but offensively, just looking for a bit more continuity. And I'm not exactly sure like where they're most effective on offense.
Yeah, you know? I agree. Yeah, I think that's like what I'm kind of getting at, where it's just like we know what Iowa does, and they did it very, very well tonight. I don't know what that is exactly for Michigan State, and doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, because there's something to having a team that you can kind of just like you can't just shut down one person because everyone else can also score. You know, there's something to that, but it felt missing in this game in particular. And where I think that there's just some possessions where you don't have that, whereas again Iowa did, and I think to me that especially made the difference.
Late game, right? Yes. You managed to get it back down to 5, and then turned it over 3 or 4 times in a row there.
So yeah, I don't leave like feeling bad about Michigan State in this. I mean, these are two just solid teams again that like I think have relatively in the grand scheme of expectations have flown under the radar a little bit, just in terms of a dialogue. I think there's a couple teams from the Big Ten. I think you say the same about Ohio State as a team that they'll have the chance tomorrow to kind of go and announce themselves a little bit more, but like obviously picked up the win against Maryland as well. Like I think they're another I think there's a decent amount of teams in the Big Ten like that are out, like the ranked Big Ten teams outside of the top 10. I feel like you could say a pretty decent amount where it's just like kind of, again, not, you can't, I don't know if you can say flown under the radar because like they're still ranked and like ranked decently, but like I think there's somewhere.
Give us that Big Ten SEC challenge and quit playing.
Need it.
You know what I mean? At this point, like we know that these are the two best conferences in
that'd be fire.
Basketball. ACC, thank you for coming. Thank you for participating all the years that you have. But we just need to be done with that, and we need to move on to the Big Ten SEC challenge.
Yeah. No, yes, please.
It's time.
Yes, please. Yeah. No, I mean, clearly the two best conferences. It's not even close. Speaking of the Big Ten, this game now puts Iowa in number 2. I mean, again, I think right now in this very moment, I still think, as you saw today, as we'll transition over to your boots, UCLA looks really damn good, and like still clearly the best team in the Big Ten. But I think it might be. I think again clearly the favorite. But if you told me that there was a slip up here or there based on how good the other teams in the Big Ten are starting to kind of show out. Where again, if you get Iowa rolling like this, if you get Ohio State where Cambridge goes, like I'm starting to see avenues that I'm not sure if I saw before, where it's like I don't think anyone's gonna take over the Big Ten from UCLA. But if you tell me UCLA doesn't end conference play undefeated, I wouldn't be surprised either. But if UCLA does what they did today, nobody's coming for that. Give us the run. I was at OU LSU during this game, so kind of give the rundown of this game, and I mean just straight belt to ass 97-67 for UCLA over Maryland.
Yeah. Total team effort. I think led by Charlize Leisure-Walker, who damn near had a triple-double, something like 17, 8, and 7. Couple nifty passes as well. Gianna Neepkins, I don't know, shot super well from 3 today.
4-7.
Got on the ground, really, really got in there, right? I think she's also a player who you've seen every time people do player evaluations about what strengths and weaknesses players nobody to me has responded more than Gianna Neepkins this year on what those weaknesses were.
Yeah,
it's immediately next game I'm gonna show you that's something I could work on. That's something that I also have in my game. But yeah, total Gabriella Hawkeyes, again, another player who don't need to run any plays for her, but has the most points out of UCLA's entire team today. So I think they had 5 or 6 players scoring double figures today. Kiki Rice just missed it with 8. Lauren Betts doing Lauren Betts things on defense as well, not just offense, right? I think this was probably UCLA's most impressive win so far this season. And again, it's coming against a Maryland team who is, super thin, right? We know about the season-ending injuries for them, but when you talk about UCLA just clicking on both sides of the ball, I think they did that really well tonight. And I think Corey challenged them. I think they gave Maryland 4 threes in the first half, but held them to just 2 made in the second half and off of 7 attempts or something like that. So I think they're at the point of their season 2 where, with the exception of, Iowa and let's say the second installment of Battle of LA, right? They're going to be probably beating teams by big margins here to finish their season. So Corey is more so looking at the little details, right? Of not necessarily coaching to the score, but the things that they are going to need come tournament time if they want to make it back to the Final Four and eventually the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, this box score is disgusting for UCLA. Yeah. I mean, look, 63% from the field, 40-64, assisted on 31 of those buckets. 31 assists on 40 made buckets over the course of the night, while also shooting 57% from 3, 13-23. That's disgusting. This team's already so good. Just in general, they don't have to shoot like that to go beat teams like this, but they did. And that's terrifying. The fact that they have the capability to go and do that, because they don't have to shoot like that to win. They just don't. So the fact that they have the capability to do that, you shoot like that. UCLA shoots like that. I mean, they could already beat anybody in the country. They're that talent level. But come on. I mean, goodness gracious, that's disgusting. The one positive for Maryland, a friend in No Space. This is someone you were talking to me about after Alucci. This is
Lucia Kanawa.
Yeah.
She's out there, again, Maryland has 3 or 4 injuries that are season ending type. But this was her first year, right? In College Park for the Terps. And she's just an excellent player. I felt like she didn't force anything on offense today, was just incredibly quick, efficient, 25 points. Even, Sailor Poffenbarger played pretty well too, but they were just overwhelmed by UCLA and all the depth that they have.
Yeah, I think for Maryland, it kind of became a thing where it's when they were ranked where they were supposed to be when they were healthy. I mean, they kind of hadn't they hadn't really lost yet. So it's they were still up there, but you
couldn't knock them down.
100%. They were still doing what they had to do, but there's a bit of inevitability. It feels like that this was going to come. You had the Ohio State loss. You have this one now. Like when you're playing against the top teams in the Big Ten, it's a no fault of their own. And they still, frankly, like the fact they made it this far, like without dropping a game is kind of an achievement in its own right, you know? But this was always, I'm interested in seeing how they respond now that they have kind of taken some of these lumps in this way, because if you told me it spiraled a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, it's not even their fault. It's literally just it's the circumstances of it. But I'm also never doubting Brendan Freese
this week, so
yeah,
it doesn't stop. Right?
No,
like, again, we're talking about a Big Ten conference that is very good from top to bottom. So they'll be able to try to catch their breath really quickly, get back to the East Coast, and then welcome the Hawkeyes.
Have fun.
Good luck to them.
Yeah. Super chat here from KGB talking about UCLA when their offense is efficient. GGs. I mean, yeah, like there's I mean, put against any team, they're doing that with that level of talent across the board. Come on. That's ridiculous. Thank you for the super chat. Again, super chat, get your message on the screen. There's a lot of upsets today, just in general. There was a lot of games going on. Where do we want to start? Let's start. We'll make our way back to the SEC. Let's go to the Big 12 first. Iowa State is about to be out of the rankings.
Yeah,
like that's happening now.
I mean, it's all coming crashing down.
Like
the Audie Crooks National Player of the Year. It's all coming crashing down right now.
5 straight losses, 86-58. Baylor broke this team. Like Baylor. I think and this is in hindsight now, I think I took a little bit of the wrong things away from the Baylor game because I focused so much on what Baylor did defensively against Iowa State. And I don't think I think I was thinking in my head, okay, that's what people are going to take away from this game. I was wrong on that because everyone's taking away how to attack the Iowa State defense and Audie Crooks on defense. That's what people have taken away from it because I looked at the Baylor game and I saw the defense and I'm like, I don't know if every team has the ability to do this in the Big 12. Baylor is more athletic than a lot of the Big 12 teams. They got players that can guard and switch. They got length. Their forwards can guard on the perimeter. Like I didn't think that the Big 12 could do that. So I saw that game and I'm like, okay, this is a problem for this matchup, but I don't think the Big 12 is going to be able to replicate this. I looked at the wrong thing though. It's the other side of the ball that the rest of the Big 12 took, and everyone's been able to go about that. I mean, this is ridiculous, and this isn't a bad Oklahoma State team. I mean, this is an Oklahoma State team that has been ranked earlier this season. This is not in general. Like if this was a loss, and you said, "Hey, Iowa State, at some point you're going to lose to Oklahoma State," it'd be like, okay, sure, that is a reasonable game to drop. When you drop it 86-58 and it's your 5th loss in a row, buddy, goodness gracious.
How do you even, I don't know how much longer Addie Brown's going to be out, but what is she even coming back to?
I don't, because at this point it's like, again, it's the defensive side, and I don't think that she fixes that. Addie Brown, I have been a truther of Addie Brown for a long time. Like I have been a truther. Hey, this is not an Addie Brown Band-Aid away. It's simply not. And I'll tell you right now, I was a Big 12 preseason voter. I had Iowa State at 4th in my poll, I believe, 3rd or 4th. And I was like, on paper, this should work. But we saw last year, and I was like, maybe I'm scorned. Maybe I'm just burnt and not healed from what we saw last year. We're seeing it again, where they just crash down in conference play. And this is worse. This is way worse than last year. I am so, this is not a bad roster. This is not a bad team. Even with the injuries, this is still not a bad team. I'm dumbfounded by just how bad things have gotten in such a quick amount of time when, I mean, again, this team, looked good. They look good in alcohol. They had Audie Crooks was challenging for National Player of the Year, and now we're here.
40 pieces, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And again, I don't think I'm not saying that they're gonna never win a game again, but in terms of fixing it long, in term the long term and what the aspirations of Iowa State should be with this roster, they're not going to be anywhere close to like the ceiling of what the potential was going into it, just in projecting out a little bit. I don't think they're going to be close to what the possibilities were, especially given how Audi was playing on the offensive side of the ball. I can't believe this happened again, is the thing, and worse this time compared to like when this happened last year. It's brutal. It's brutal. Again, Baylor broke. I see KDB in the chat talking about, have you ever seen a crash like this? Like this?
From where they were top 10, weren't they like at 1.7 or 8, maybe even 6?
Not 6.
They were definitely 8 at one point in time.
I think that sounds right. Because they never went past 6.
Okay,
like they weren't that high, but they were, I think, bottom of the top 10 to now unranked. And I think if I'm not mistaken, like let's look. They were 10 when they played Baylor, and they hadn't lost yet. So maybe that was as high as they got. Yeah, it might have been 10. It might have been 10. Regardless, you were number 10 in the nation. You play Baylor. You lose 5 games in a row. Tomorrow you will be unranked. Like, just like that. Wicked. And again, I don't know. I don't see the pathway to like truly fix this in terms of trying to go and make a March run or hell win the Big 12. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's bad. We can go to the SEC though, because there's a couple big upsets here. We'll start off. Kentucky confuses me. They lose. Look, Mississippi State at home is a different beast. Okay. No one goes to the hump. No one goes to the hump and leaves unscathed. Okay. But like, since Tiana Key is good. Like Tiana Key is genuinely good. But I find it interesting because the bigs in the SEC this year in particular, there's not like the boatload of like great bigs in the SEC this year in comparison to past years, where I'm a bit surprised that we kind of we've seen a couple of these games with Kentucky where, you have this one, you have the Alabama loss, which is a ranked loss. There's worse losses out there. So I guess I'm a little shocked to see these. I don't know if dud is the right word, like for these games, but I'm a bit shocked to see it. But notably, both those games have been accompanied by inefficient games from Strack, shooting from the floor.
That seems like the key, right? It's frustrating Claire Strack, and they got 0 bench points today.
Mm-hmm.
You already are thin, so having 0 production from your bench is just obviously got the big win against LSU, right? And to begin kind of like conference play. But I don't think anybody expected like Kentucky to like run the tape, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Or anything. Or and like you said, like Starkville, the hump is an incredibly tough.
I don't know what it is about the hump, man, but goodness.
Your doppelganger.
Quinn got that thing on lock.
It also seems like Kenny Brooks is kind of like out of answers right now. That is like the part that's alarming to me. It's like, okay, yeah, let's say even you get Tiani back.
Sure.
Like it doesn't stop though. It's still the SEC. It's still hard. You know what I mean? So what do you do to put your bench in like better opportunities to be helpful? You know what I mean? To the starters. It's just also becoming very, very apparent that like we have that upper crust of teams, and then there's a bunch of teams where it's like one player out can change your entire season, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your superstar. It shows how important glue players are to this season in particular, because every team that's missing their glue player right now has lost. And lost to a team that, could be considered lesser than.
Yeah. No, it's again, it's just interesting because Kentucky, I wouldn't call them like Strack or bust. Like they have like other capable players, but like they're not far off. Like if when Strack is inefficient, shooting, it's just you're playing from behind, right? So I'll be interested in seeing, looking at their schedule. I don't know what the timeline is for Key, because it was pretty up in the air when they initially announced the injury. They go play at Tennessee, then it's Georgia, at Arkansas. Is their next 3 games, but then you have Vandy at home, at Texas. So in a perfect world, you get her back, presumably for the Vandy game, but I have no idea what that looks like. And Tiani Key ain't guarding Michaela Blakes. So like, I'll be interested in seeing again what the timeline is, because I have no idea, frankly. I haven't seen any updated thing. And again, when they announced it was very open-ended, frankly. But if there is kind of that immediate switch back to the level that they were at when they were beating LSU and beating a super team, the Sooners at home. So this one, let me be nice. Georgia beats Ole Miss. Right after, and we talked about it on Ball Up Top. So make sure it's our weekly podcast. Go tap in if you missed it last week. We had a whole conversation about Coach Joe's comments about abolishing the AP poll. Like might be. Well, I was gonna say that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but like it's not far off. Like from what she said, that's pretty much exactly what she said.
The word abolish, but she said we could tear it up.
Basically. Yeah. So not too far off to go. Have the big message on Twitter and to follow it up with a bad loss to Georgia, to not a bad team in Georgia, but a bad loss to Georgia,
not competitive
to 59. Right. Yeah, like not even close. Again, Georgia 16-3 at 2-3 in SEC play, so like not like they didn't like just stumble through non-con by any means. But their
best start to their season in a very, very long time.
Yeah. So there's again, I mean the SEC is wicked. So like you could be 2-3 in the SEC right now and still be a solid team. Like that's not an unreal thing to say here. But 82-59 off the back of the tweets is not good. Not good at all. Just kind of fell flat a little bit in this game. I mean, Cody McMahon really struggled.
1-13.
Yeah, that's immediately the thing that jumps out 100%.
I mean, good to see her get to the free throw line, because like obviously nothing else was working. But again, this is what I said. Even I think prior to Ball Up Top is like Ole Miss is capable of playing with anybody, right? Like scaring almost anybody.
Sure.
But when it's time to like build off of good things, it's like they never answered the call.
Don't disagree. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It felt. I know we were talking about it in our Discord chat, and it like they're able to get up for big games, and they normally do. Like they normally at least stick around. If nothing else, like they don't lose like this to good team, like to like the upper echelon of teams. So it's always weird when you have if there's a moment like this. And again, it's the timing of it couldn't be worse, just in terms of the narrative, right? And the agenda pushing. God, I know those AP voters are going to be licking their fingers to drop him in the ranks. I watched this game, like, oh man, it's gonna get wicked. I can't wait to see whether we'll have an AP poll video out whenever that comes out in the midst of many games tomorrow. So it's probably gonna be outdated pretty quickly, frankly. But I'm gonna have an instant reaction to it. I will be on the lookout to see where Ole Miss is, because if you told me that there was a voter or two, I don't have anyone in mind or anything, but the idea of there might be a voter or two that sends them to hell just on the basis of the comments. Like it might get wicked. I don't have anyone in mind. I'm not saying it's going to happen. However, I'm not going to act like I won't be looking for it just in case, because just the timing of it couldn't be much worse, frankly. What else? Tennessee gets a really good win against Alabama at Alabama. Hey, Paul though.
Hey, but who was telling you about me and Paul?
That's so crazy, Greer, because I was about to say the same thing. Didn't have like the best game in this one, but 3 of 5 from 3. But she's just been hooping in general.
And confidence
wasn't
right?
bad.
Like,
yeah, like has fully kind of like grown into this, like in a way that like I wasn't sure was gonna happen in year one. I'm happily surprised in the best way. Like I'm having a blast watching Mia Paldo, who again we interviewed back at Overtime Select a couple summers ago.
2 summers ago.
2 summers ago. Been known. Come on now. Come on. You gotta be tapped in with us. We put you on. We'll put you on. But yeah, no, I've been she's just fun to watch. And like the emergence of her could like again, I've been saying this about Tennessee is that the season's ahead of them. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a rocky season, but the season ahead of them. You got ranked opponents. You got the ranked opponent. You know, like you got like the season is in front of you to go and completely change the narrative on where you are.
5-0 in conference play.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
So it's like I got stuck, I think, with them a little bit because I didn't trust them at all. I didn't feel like they had a floor. I didn't feel like they had like they have an identity in the way that they play, but they didn't have an identity to like fall back on whenever when things got wicked. This is the most confident I've felt about Tennessee, period, this season. Is right now, like in this moment where they stand again, as you mentioned, 5-0 in SEC play is not something to scoff at. Like it hasn't been the top of the SEC, notably, but like you start off with it today. You beat Alabama in Bama. Now you go play Kentucky at home. Then you go play at Ole Miss. So like you got a string of ranked games here. Again, obviously 2 teams we're talking about that just lost as well. So we'll see like where they end up in the rankings, you know, when that comes. But like, and then UConn's on the horizon, as is playing. I mean, you still got South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU. You end the season with Oklahoma. It goes Texas, then Texas A&M, at Oklahoma, at LSU, at home versus Vandy is how they end the season. Like that's brutal. But also, again, in the sense of you want to talk about the potential to build momentum going into postseason basketball, it's all right there for the taking. So I am still I don't know exactly where I'm at with Tennessee, but this is the best I've felt about Tennessee is right now in this moment where they currently stand. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think Kim Caldwell, like going to Paldo in the starting lineup, Sybil in your starting lineup, like I like the change too, honestly. Mm-hmm. I like the balance of experience with like Cooper and Spearman, but like that young hunger that Sybil and Paldo are bringing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like the right combination for Tennessee. You know, obviously play a Alabama team who, you know, is without Essence Cody. So like that changes things too, you know, but still a quality win and like more opportunities to add to that resume before we get to the postseason. What, you know, you just rattled off, I think the last 4 or 5 games that they have there, but like, yeah, that interstate matchup with Vandy, that's going to be big. That's going to be big.
That's going to be. I hope that just like continues to grow. Like I hope Vandy continues. Like I hope we see like we're kind of seeing it now where like both programs are on the same, not same trajectory. It's different builds, but like they're both getting good again at the same time. Love it. Like I love that. That is a rivalry I can fully like get behind becoming like a staple.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm buying it yet, but what I have seen is like we got away from those hockey line shifts, right? Like that's for this team that wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? So they kind of got away from that and are playing just a more traditional rotations, and it's working out so far.
Yeah. I'm excited. Like you said, I'm not buying or selling either yet, but this is like, again, just the best I've felt about them is in the present over the course of this season. I saw a comment. We talked about Iowa State. We did talk about Iowa State. Not good. It is the summary. Not good. We got a super chat here again from KGB. There's a war going on for first buy in SEC tourney. Oh, yeah, dude, we're gonna have boots on the ground at SEC tournament. I can't wait because like I don't know what the hell is gonna go down there. Like there's going to be the matchup. Getting there is one thing, and then when we get there, like it is going to be ridiculous. Like,
I don't know, man. South Carolina, like it's still there.
Look, but there's a whole bracket. I'm not saying about where we end up at. I think it's pretty clear right now where we're gonna end up at. but getting there was gonna be fun.
Yeah,
getting there is gonna be fun. I don't know who they might play, but I think we know.
It'll be Coppin State. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, big win for South Carolina today. Good thing nobody else in the SEC played today. That's great.
So fast, my boy, not so fast.
Yeah, we can. We're.
Can we talk? Well, let's finish with the SEC, please.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so Tyler's not going to be the one to say it, but LSU.
Yeah. Okay.
The show to Norman, Oklahoma this afternoon, and cooked.
So I have the whole post game. So if you want the more, I have my immediate reactions. Not mad, disappointed. But like it was. First off, LSU looks like they are the biggest difference LSU has. I talked about it then. I'll bring it up now. The rebounding from the guards has completely changed the ceiling of this team. You look at their rebounding right now, and in this game, Flau'jae Johnson had her best game of the season, I might add. 10 rebounds. Michaela Williams, 6 rebounds. Jada Richard, who I love her game, by the way. Like, I'd think I'd slept on her too much going into this season. I think there's just been a lot of growth that, like, you can't really project on the outside looking in, I think, fully. She had 5 rebounds. They count for 21 rebounds in this game. Just your starting 3 guards in this. I mean, look, Oklahoma had 38 rebounds in total. Okay, come on. Chat, please. Let's be demure, okay? We'll get there. But no, to me, what I was so impressed by, and I asked Flau'jae about this in the press conference, Oklahoma it's an interesting matchup, I feel like, for LSU, because LSU has the athletes to do what Oklahoma does in terms of the pace. They got guards. Their guards will run up and down and could succeed and win and beat Oklahoma doing that, and they didn't. They didn't do that. They slowed the game down. They got Oklahoma in the half court. They did their thing in the half court. LSU is still very much like one-on-one, I'm going to cook you, and frankly, Oklahoma doesn't have the one-on-one defenders to defend the offensive talent that LSU has. But I felt it was like more like there's my word of the day is just intentional, I guess, but like it felt like there was more organization to it than maybe I had seen before with like some of the off-ball screening and stuff like that. Like Flau'jae was cooking in the mid-range, and a lot of that was Iverson cuts coming with the off-ball screen and just getting it and popping it, and it was just that simple, And so I left this game so impressed with Flau'jae, who, I mean, look, day one Glazer right here. Like I've been here. But, like, again, easily her best game of the season. Jada Richard, I believe it was a career high for her with 21 points. She was fantastic defensively as well, too. She had a lot of the Aaliyah Chavez assignment. And Chavez, it was a struggle, to say the least, in this game.
What do you make of – I got to ask you because you were there.
100%.
What do you make of Oklahoma's just, like, balance on offense, right? Like, Reagan Beers, projected to be probably an All-American.
Should be.
Definitely a SEC caliber player. Mm-hmm. Has she had that kind of season to you? And like, why to you anyway? Like, is she less of a focal point on offense than she should be?
In terms of Reagan being the focal, So I think to me, they haven't gone under the ball enough. I think in this game actually was in the initial, because Oklahoma starts this game on a run, and they get out running in this game, and LSU eventually they quickly clawed their way back in. But Oklahoma started off, and I think it was a 9-point lead they jump out to, and I believe 4 of those points that they scored in that were just direct, just in straight into Beers, and that was the first time where I was like,
8 shot attempts today.
And that's the problem. So I think there's two aspects to that. One is the balance, and it's problem, like just point blank period. But she got into foul trouble early in the first quarter with 2 fouls. Didn't play the entire second quarter until like a minute and a half left when Brooklyn Stewart got 3 fouls. And this is the way Jenny said it in the press conference. I think was great. Can't shoot when you're on the bench, and I think that happened in this game in particular. But like it's a problem. Like it is. There was so many possessions where obviously Oklahoma's known for their pace. Like that is how Oklahoma plays. There's too many possessions where Beers is the one that is rebounding the ball, and she's not even getting to touch the paint before the first shot goes up when she's getting down to the other side of the court. And it's not even like she's not running or anything like that. The shot just goes up so fast. And I understand again that is part of what Oklahoma does, but when the shots aren't falling, it gets brutal. And that's the problem. It is like when that happens. And today, man, you could feel it. And I think in this game in particular, like you see the success early on with Beers, and then when they kind of go up, I felt like they kind of immediately went for the kill, like, and they just start putting up threes, and like they were taking quick threes, and then they weren't falling, and then LSU worked their way back, and it's kind of been a little bit of like we saw in the Ole Miss game where this is an OU team where I don't feel like they've been incredibly like resilient in terms of like when someone they whether they throw the first punch, they haven't I haven't seen like yes even OU like they went on runs today and never fully felt like they were back in the game. The Ole Miss game was closer than this one, and it never felt like Oklahoma ever had any control in that game. Like there's a lack of game control, I feel like, and I don't know if that is purely the pace, but yeah, it's just I mean you're
34 3-point attempts to LSU's 9.
And LSU was cooking in the midi. Like it's not even like getting to the paint, it's the midi. And so yeah, I mean 8 shot attempts. I mean, you just look up and down. I mean 12, 14, 12, 17 for the rest of the starters. I would be okay.
More attempts than LSU too, 71-68. Yeah. I mean, free throws.
So yeah, free throws were crazy in this, but not in a. I like there was some calls, but like it was not a. This is the game. The biggest thing was Oklahoma wasn't getting weren't rebounding, and then we're fouling after not getting the rebound, or things of that nature. And it was things like that where it's a mistake leading to a foul. It's not even the foul itself. It is what you did right before the foul that made you foul. That was the problem to me in this one. And it just, again, like it's just not good enough, frankly, right now. Like it's just not offensively. And again, like there were some shots that's like that just didn't fall, and like that happens. But to me, when that happens, that's even more reason to go into Beers, who was finishing fantastically, I might add. She was finishing through contact. Like I thought she had a couple of ones that could have been fouls, like that weren't. Like she was finishing, but only 8 shot attempts. I mean, like again, the entire rest of the starting lineup has double-digit shot attempts. I would be cool with one of Aaliyah Chavez or Peyton Verhulst having more shot attempts than Reagan Beers. Like that would be kind of my benchmark, but not the whole starting lineup, let alone both of them, like that in a perfect world, that would be the benchmark, like it's just not,
that's not a recipe
sustainable. Yeah, it's just not. And you mix that with, again, we're a team where it just feels like something's off. Like something like it I can't even pinpoint it exactly, being on the outside looking in and like what I've heard. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something off. And even like Jenny kind of mentioned it, where it's like little things here where it's like, oh, someone might be, it's like just a little bit late on a cut, or, like just one missed box out. Like it's just little things where it's like, that's weird, like and the energy, again, the resilience, it's just weird. And when you had a week off going into this game, it felt like they started off hot in this game, and then like again, this is the first sellout crowd since 2009. Like it felt like, I mean, look, Courtney Paris was on that court last time there was that many butts in seats. Jesus. Like, and it felt like they came out and they were like ready to go, and it was like, okay, like this looks like a team that had fully, like, it looked like they kind of atoned for their sins a little bit, like when they were first coming out. And I don't know what happened, like after the first run, and as soon as LSU punched back, like everything like washed over them almost as a team, where it's like the lights got bright, essentially, like, and it just, you could feel it. And it felt very different in that initial run versus the rest of the game. And I don't know how you fix that. Like if there's just like a disconnect across the team, it's not something you could like watch on game film, to me, if that's what it is, So I'm interested in what that looks like. You have, if you see it here, South Carolina comes next Thursday, so it's not getting any easier. I mean, we're talking about Iowa State and how they look. I mean, this is 3 straight losses now. If they don't establish Beers, it could get ugly. I mean, obviously, well, I'll be there. I'll see it if it happens. I'll witness it live. But yeah, again, it's weird because thank you for the super chat, by the way. Super chat gets mentioned on screen. Again, this is a talented roster. Like Aaliyah Chavez has shown that she can go and score, and we saw it in the non-con. I think to me, this game in particular with Chavez felt like the first time the SEC caught up to her a little bit. We know, like when you think about the March Madness matchups and you're thinking about SEC teams and the athleticism and the ability to defend on the perimeter, there was not one player on OU today that could beat their defender one-on-one. And Chavez included in that. And that's not just Chavez, but Chavez included in that. And I think for her, when you're singling out maybe the difference between what we saw in non-con versus now, that's what it was to me today.
The caliber of athlete is
yeah. I mean LSU might have someone like the best in terms of their full guard lineup that they can go and throw at you. I mean, she had Jada Rashard, Flau'jae Johnson, Michaela Williams, and Malaysia Fulwiley chasing her the entire night. Yeah, I mean, understandable. You know, like that is a very reasonable freshman growing pain game to have. But man, it's a brutal one to have because to me, from a grand pictures team, and we'll move on after this. This was the game Oklahoma's been waiting for as a program. Since Jenny got here, this was the sellout. This was the game. This was the game not only to kind of save the season a little bit, you know, potentially, and like kind of get back on track, not to say that the season's over, but this was the game in a lot of ways where, especially had they won the 2 games before, but this was the first game. It's this game in South Carolina where you circle it. And like, if you want to go and be in that upper echelon of the SEC, which like you're starting to recruit the talent that by the number that says you can be, you have to win these games. You have to go and pick up some of these wins. And this is the first time that LSU and South Carolina are both coming to play in Norman. Like this was the game where it's like, from a program perspective of getting to that next level, having one of these hallmark wins, that is like, okay, there hasn't been that SEC arrival moment yet. Texas came in and immediately were in the upper echelon. Oklahoma hasn't had that yet. And that's what these games were supposed to be and hoping to be. So I hope, you know, at least a competitive game against South Carolina Thursday. Oh, look at that. Hold on. And to make me feel better after all this, really? Man, thank you so much. Let's off, but on top. No, this is on topic now. $10. Truth Deconstructed. Love you, Tyler.
963. Let me just throw that out there.
2 of my 4 favorite members. Wait, who don't you like? There's 5. 2 of my 4 favorite members of the No Cap Space family. This channel deserves 1 million subscribers. Thanks for all the awesome work you do.
We're on the way.
Thank you. We hit 1 million views. We're on the way to 1 million.
Comment for real. I'm gonna, you know how like when you go to, maybe not in Norman, but when you go into like a liquor store in LA, like sometimes you'll see a dollar bill on the plexiglass, on the bulletproof glass. I feel like I'm gonna print this comment out when we do finally hit 1 million subscribers. Like this was the one. This was the first dollar bill. I'm at 2 of my 5. You're good.
Thank you so much. No, you're good. You're good. I'm just messing with you. Don't worry. It's Rashard. It's okay. No, thank you. That actually means a lot. Thank you so much. This has actually been a record breaking month for No Cap Space here on YouTube. So we're incredibly grateful.
And we're not done. That's the thing.
Yeah, we got a whole long way to go. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. That just made my night. After going through the pain. Yeah, we're gonna have to frame that one. We got this right here is our first credential. So like, you know, like that we got like Mr. Krabs got his first dollar in the frame. Hey. Like I'm ready for it. But again, thank you so much. And again, super chats gets your message on the screen. Thank you, Truth Deconstructed. I really, really appreciate that. Let's move on. What was our last game? Which one do we have? ACC to wrap it up tonight. Because again, we're right back at it tomorrow with one of the best slates of the year, by the way, which will be live after Notre Dame UConn, we might add. Louisville. Look, I think everyone wrote off the ACC and were like, yeah, this conference stinks really early on, pretty much because Duke ruined it for everybody, honestly, and Notre Dame not being the regular Notre Dame caliber. Louisville just kind of keeps winning games. Yeah, and today, like it is truly Jeff Walsh keeps getting away with it. I mean, you've probably heard Andrew say that a million times.
Oh, y'all had it. Y'all had it.
NC State, Is hold on, is NC State, maybe not now after the Iowa State and how they're going out, is NC State, before we could dive into the performance in this one, are they the most disappointing on paper to reality team now that Duke's getting it together?
Okay, well, if you're considering that this is a team who made it to the Final Four last year.
Yeah, and like they had turnover, but like they're still very good. Like on paper. I mean, you get Camille Pierre.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you had the best, probably the best transfer? Question mark.
I'm trying
to think on my head. Like in the conversation, you know? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Oof. Yeah.
That might be a ball of top segment. We might, because that's regardless. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Like this is who you're competing with. This is who NC State should be. But you're exactly right. Right here, gone. Happened against Oklahoma as well.
Yep.
Right there, gone. Slipped through the fingers. But
yeah,
Amari Berry 33 off the
man.
Come on.
On a heater today.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And like avenged, right? Because they should have won in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She had the turnover out of bounds, dribbled it off her foot, but made amends for it in overtime. And they absolutely just dismantled NC State in overtime.
Yeah.
Listen, like, no stars. Okay, like, I get it. Amari, great game today.
Sure.
But you get what I'm saying.
Off the bench. Like
you know what I mean?
Off the bench.
No stars. But Jeff Walz has just assembled a team that plays for each other, plays hard all the time, and plays to like Louisville principles. They are a very, very well coached team, and they don't beat themselves.
Yeah. Like this is a team that's been building to this. This is a young core that has grown. It feels kind of similar to Michigan, right? Like in that idea of like you saw like there's this young team and they lost some that they made the mistakes, like they couldn't finish some of the games in years past, and the lumps have come, like it's grown now. You the mistakes, the lessons have been applied now, and then you're getting stuff like this. And again, I mean Jeff Walz, goodness, dude. I mean, there's just a couple coaches in the country where it's like outside of like your obvious, very super duper top tier, your Dons, your Genos, your Kim Mulkey. Like there's a coaching group. Jeff Walz, I'd put in there. Brenda Freeze, I'd put in there. Where it's just like they're just gonna make it happen, man. Like I no matter what you have, they're just gonna make it happen to some degree. And in again, still a down year in the ACC. Again, it looks like Duke is kind of working their way back up. Notre Dame, like when you have Hannah Hidalgo, you're kind of always in it. So there's still like decent teams in the ACC, but still relatively a down year in comparison to what we know the ACC can be. Louisville just kind of, I mean, look, when you look at their losses too, like think about who they lost to. UConn, who they played UConn, this is probably second best out of anybody.
First game of the season too.
Yeah, but they gave them the second best game. Like Michigan, So they lose that game by double digits. They lose to Kentucky in a rivalry game. But I mean, Kentucky was 20 at the time. Then we've now learned when they were still healthy. Then Kentucky is a better team than I think people were giving them credit for. Them, myself included. And then you lose when you have the chance to hit a game winner against South Carolina. Those are your 3 losses. That's it. And you just continue to do what you're supposed to do. Had a massive win against Tennessee. Which again, that's before I think Tennessee's trying to
dismantling of Tennessee.
But I think they forced Tennessee to look themselves in the mirror to now get to what we're seeing now. Because goodness, that was a whooping in that game. Has beat North Carolina already. Has beat Notre Dame. They don't have another. They play Notre Dame the last game of the season. Right now, where it currently stands, they don't have another ranked game on their schedule right now. And again, that's a testament to ACC.
Just to keep it going, you know what I mean? But man, wow. If they're the team that comes out of the ACC, and again, we're going to see some movement in the top 10 here. Yeah. Wow. The Cardinals, man, they just never fold. They don't have a star, and that's probably ultimately what's going to separate them from let's say the top 6-ish, 7-ish teams. But to get where they are right now, given their roster construction, they're just a piece away from being back in a Final Four type because they have the coaching and they have the identity, right?
Hey, Jeff Walton getting active in the portal. I mean, he'd be overseas scouting. Like, I mean,
yeah, Jeff's everywhere.
Yeah, like, I mean, looking at this roster, they have two seniors, two new seniors, Raina Scott and Ziegler. That's it. Everybody else coming back, and a majority of these are sophomores. Like Marty Berry, sophomore, right? McKinley Randolph, sophomore. Taj Rock, sophomore. Like this team isn't going again. This is still like the baby version of this team, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, again, we saw it last year where it's like
your head is still soft.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying come on now. We still got the protection on the corners of the tables. Like, but this team, like, this is the baby version, and they're already doing this. And again, it very much reminds me of where Michigan is. At Michigan, probably just a little bit ahead, but like not by much right now. I mean, this is. I mean, they keep winning. You know, so I am incredibly impressed with them. They were a team last year. I remember I wrote about. I covered a 5-out, and I wrote about them last year and being like, this is what I feel like is going to happen. Even to me, this is ahead of schedule. Like where they're at right now in terms of how competitive they were against UConn and South Carolina. This is still ahead of schedule for me. And I was already last year being like, hey, I think this is going to happen. I thought it maybe be another year. So to say that they're already here, can go get active, in the portal or just keep growing, frankly, I am incredibly impressed by what they are. And
Johnny Schimmel, you will always be famous. You will always be famous. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm impressed. That was a hell of a game too. That was just a good game in general. I believe that's it. I think that's every. Oh, I mean, I'm about to say every like ranked team. Texas beat A&M. There's Aaliyah Crumpback. No, actually, that is important. Aaliyah Crumpback
had missed like, I don't know, 10 games or something. Like a lot, a huge chunk of their season. We know, that they were missing some offensive firepower too, right? And they needed her back badly. So it looks like she's going to be able to finish the season for them, which is huge. But again, still a freshman.
Yeah.
But yeah, they needed her back badly.
Yeah. Came in. She got 20 more minutes and got just like put shot up. And I love that. Like got 4 of 11, 4 from 3. I don't care. Shoot the ball. Get back to it in like Texas shot 1 of 18 from 3. Goodness. Also, just I think I've decided I'm just gonna be pushing the Kyla Oldacre agenda just in general. 6th Woman of the Year. I'm just a sidebar. 10 points, 18 rebounds today, 5 blocks. Come on now. I mean, like I say now, this isn't, this is kind of to a degree what Texas, but like still, I'm pushing the agenda. Okay, tomorrow we're right back to it, y'all. We were on boots on the ground here. I had my full. If you want to see a little bit of heartbreak, you can go and see that here on the channel with the OU LSU. If you want more on that game, we have press conferences from Maryland, UCLA, OU, and LSU all on the channel from today. And tomorrow is stacked. All on national TV on Fox. Ohio State, TCU, Michigan, Vanderbilt, which is going to be incredible hoops. And then we finish it off, Notre Dame, UConn, all pretty much back to back to back. We will be live after Notre Dame, UConn, talking all 3 of those games. I am going to be sitting in one place and not moving until I have to move to this chair instead and talk about it. I am so excited for tomorrow. So, you know what to be. You know what to do. Subscribe. Make sure you're tapped in. Make sure you have the bell so you're notified every time we go live or upload. AP poll should be dropping. I'll have a video on that as well at some point whenever that drops. So be on the lookout for that. Again, it might get outdated real quick because these teams are going to be playing, but we'll see where some of the movement is with the teams that have already played, if nothing else. So I'm excited to see with that. But again, we will be live after Notre Dame, UConn. So make sure you're here to come join us. We're going to be talking the entire day. So if you got a game you're looking forward to tomorrow, we'll be talking about it. So make sure you're tapped in here. Again, no cat space, WBB.com. You can find that in the link in the description. Our January cover story with an exclusive interview with Aaliyah Chavez just dropped today. You can find that on the website. And of course, if you become a YouTube member or a paid Ball Nowhere member on the website, you can join the Discord. And what a great day to do it with that stack of hoops coming up tomorrow. So make sure you're tapped in with us here. And we will see you guys tomorrow live after Notre Dame UConn to talk the entire day of Stacked Hoops.